I just want to say, man, I'm blown away by most days with this group. You guys have been super supportive from the start, and some of the stuff you guys have said about me has just been really kind, and I'm kind of shocked by it all, and some days it doesn't even feel real. So if you would have told me 3-ish plus years ago when I bought my One Infinity that the machine would actually change my entire life, I would have called you nuts, but it did exactly just that. And I'm super excited about these VFD kits, and so let's just dive into it. So this is the final design of the kit. Everything is going to be printed out of ABS. Default's going to be black. If you want a custom color when you order this, you pre-order it, you can let me know and we'll get whatever color you want. But everything will always be made out of ABS. This is the main thing with this whole drive, with this whole spindle kit. This drive is an industrial grade drive with vector controlled. Vector controlled is absolutely awesome. It means when that spindle starts to bog down, this will actually up the power to it to actually maintain the RPM that you have it set to. This thing is crazy awesome. The one thing I don't like about the drive is it doesn't actually read 24,000 RPMs. It only reads 2,400 RPMs. It's missing a 0. I'm not really sure why, but it does. They do make other screens that cost a lot more money that you can put on there, but to me, I really don't think it's worth it. Let's say you have this kit and you were using BuildBotics, but you upgraded to an Elite. All you'll have to do is buy the connector from me that has a RJ45 jack on it that you plug any Ethernet cable into, plug that into the Masso, and then there'll be 2 pins under this cover that you have to move, and then you'll have to plug this into your computer, and you'll get 2 configuration files, one for BuildBotics and one for Masso. And then you'll just have to upload that to the drive. It literally takes about 5 to 10 minutes. It takes longer to hook this thing up to the computer than it does to upload the configuration file. And it's as simple as that. I am working on something that might actually make it even easier to where you don't have to plug anything in. But I'm not sure if it's possible, but I am trying to work on that. So if I am able to figure that out, that's how the production models will be. But I'm not sure if it's even possible, but I am trying to figure out a way to do that. This is your emergency switch. This will be a red LED light up switch indicating that this emergency stop button. If you press that, this drive will shut down that spindle as fast as possible without backfeeding the drive. It will also hit the emergency stop system on the BuildBotics controller or the Masso controller. The Masso controller is going to take a little bit more to actually get it to work with the emergency stop system, but you will be provided everything you need to plug in to the Masso controller to make this emergency stop system actually stop the controller side on the Masso controller for the Elite series if you choose to. You don't have to hook it up if you don't want to, but personally me, I'm pretty big on safety. I'm going to hook mine up. This is your manual override. This manual override will work in real time, and it'll also allow you to pause and stop the machine and literally turn off this entire system, go to bed, come back the next day, turn it back on, kick your spindle up, hit it back over to the controller side of things, and then resume your carve. Really awesome. I'll go into depth detail on both of these for the Masso controller and the BuildBotics controller when the time comes. I already said it, I'm pretty sure I already said this, it's all printed out of ABS. Under here is an EMI filter. This right here is your master on and off switch. That is on, that is off. It is a lockout tagout. It's an industrial grade switch. Everything that is wired to this drive is 8-gauge wire. That is what the drive manufacturer actually calls for. The thing you will need to provide, you'll need to provide your own RJ45 Ethernet cable. I will provide you with either the BuildBotics connector or the Masso connector to plug into the actual controller. But there's an RJ45 jack right here. You'll need a cable to plug into this side, and you'll need a cable to plug into the connector that I provide you for either BuildBotics or Masso. I figure that's easiest because I've already had a lot of people ask me if I was going to provide different length cables. And I'm like, man, I had like 5 different cable lengths I was already going to have to start making. And I'm like, man, this is a lot. I was just going to do 10 first. And then I'm like, that's a better solution. And then this is what I came up with. So that is how you'll need to provide your own main power cable. Manufacturer specs, 8-gauge. So you'll need to provide your main power cable, whatever length you want, 8-gauge, what kind of plug you're using for 220 volts. Plus, you also need to provide your own Ethernet cable to communicate with your controller. Everything is on a solid 1/4 inch aluminum plate. I mill these plates out myself. I recess all these screws so that way you're able to push this up against the wall and mount it directly to the wall or whatever you're mounting it to. It has 3 mounting holes on this side and 3 mounting holes on this side. Another thing I have is with this VFD, whenever this VFD is outputting any power at all to spin that spindle, this fan in here is kicking up to 100%. The cooler you keep this drive, the longer it's going to last. This is the spindle cable. It is rated for VFDs, it is shielded, and it has quick connectors on it. These connectors are not like aviation plugs where they can come loose or eventually vibrate completely loose and the plug pulls out. These are quick connectors, they don't come off. This right here is the VFD cable plug. This right here will just click right on, like that. And now it's on there. It's not gonna come loose or come unscrewed. It's there. Same thing, spindle side. It's just gonna click on, just like that. This is German-made VFD cable, shielded, and everything is terminated correctly. And it's a high flex cable. So super high-end cable. The nice thing with putting my own connectors on the actual spindles is that I have to pull this cover plate off, desolder the aviation connector. Doing that, I'm able to make sure that the spindle is grounded, and then when I solder it, I know I'm soldering the connectors correctly, and I get to put the shrink tubing and everything on. I have about 5 different spindle brands, and I've tried different spindles to make sure which spindle I want to sell with this kit. And some of those brands had some really bad solder joints. Some of them didn't even use shrink tubing. And so doing this ensures that their shrink tubing, the solder joints are done correctly, everything's grounded, and I get to make sure the quality control is a lot better. The spindle that's going to come with the kit is a 2.2 kilowatt spindle. It is 4 bearings total. It has 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom on the shaft. It is an ER20. I think I said 2.2 already, and it's an 8 amp motor. It is air cooled, and right now the only thing I'll be offering with this kit is a 220 volt kit along with a air cooled 2.2 kilowatt spindle, ER20. It will come with 1 collet. It is 6mm, so I highly suggest that you buy collets for an ER20. I will provide the wrenches though with the kit. I believe that's almost everything that I can think of right now on this kit. So let's just go ahead and talk about when pre-orders are going to start. Pre-orders will start July 4th, along with a 10% off sale on our entire website on everything, even with the pre-orders of these kits. So from July 4th to July 7th, 10% off across the board on everything that I make will be on our website. I'll put a link down below. And the pre-orders for these kits will start. Now, the pre-order window is going to be 2 to 4 months. I want to take this 2 to 4 months time to really get set up to the best that I can to get most efficient and get things to where they need to go, where I'm setting up to build these at, because I want to make sure I have the connectors, everything that I need right in front of me and most efficient. That way I can actually produce these kits, if I need to, produce them quickly. I'm really big on getting everything organized and set up for a job, and I want to be able to do things correctly. I want to do it right. I don't want to compromise the quality of things over speed, but I definitely want to get set up in such a way that I'm able to get everything that I need for what I'm doing in a certain way to make it the most efficient as possible. So I'm going to use this 2 to 4 months window for these first 20 kits, if they even sell any, to really get set up and get organized for that. And I will do some update videos on these kits, and I'll do videos of me cutting stuff, obviously, and pushing the spindle and VFD system as time goes on. I'm really looking forward to see where this is going to go, and I'm really excited about all this. And again, I'm blown away by most of you guys in this group, and I just thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. You guys are a huge blessing. I also want to take this time to talk to you about our new policy for our items on our website. So instead of before on Etsy, we offered 30 days. Pretty much no questions asked. Just send me a picture of whatever you broke and I replaced it if it was within a 30-day window. We're now changing that. It's now going to be a 60-day window on anything that you buy from our website. No questions asked. Send me a picture of the broken part, regardless if you broke it yourself or cut it in half on accident. Rammed it into a clamp. Won't matter. Send me a picture and we'll go ahead and replace that item. The VFD spindle kits are going to be different. They're going to be a 1-year warranty through me. So if the motor burns out, I'll have you ship me the new one back, or have you ship me the old one back, and I'll send you a new motor. With the VFD system and spindle, it's a little bit more complicated, so we might have to go back and forth over the internet through videos or a video chat, or maybe just talk on the phone to figure out exactly what the issue is. But we will warranty those items and we will back it. So if anything breaks within 1 year, we will take care of it for you. Again, I'm really excited about this, and it's kind of nerve-wracking, and I just thank you guys for all the support you guys have given me. I put a lot of time into this kit, and I really believe it's going to be one of the best VFD spindle kits in this hobbyist CNC zone.